Previous Opel models are very much criticized for poor body protection against corrosion. Among motorists, the statement was very popular: if you put an Opel in a quiet place, you can hear how it rusts. The manufacturer took into account this drawback and completely galvanized the car body, but unfortunately, this did not give the desired result. It cannot be said that the body rots as before, but the appearance of bugs on it after the winter is a common thing. It is worth noting that the manufacturer gives a 12-year warranty on the body. When inspecting, special attention should be paid to thresholds, wheel arches, tailgate, and door edges. As experience has shown, power units are very reliable and rarely cause trouble. In terms of dynamics, turbocharged engines look preferable to outdated atmospherics, but you need to understand that such engines will be more expensive to maintain and repair. So, for example, every 180 to 100,000 kilometers, a turbine needs to be replaced, and this pleasure is not cheap, $7,900 USD with work. Of the common engine problems, it can be noted: a small thermostat resource, 30,000 km. Many owners solve this problem by installing a more reliable thermostat from the Chevrolet Cruze, and failure of the coolant level valve in the tank. On the 1.6 motor, a system for charging the valve timing on two shafts is used. This not only increases the power of the unit, but also makes the motor less reliable. The weak point is the solenoid valve of the phase regulator. Once every 60,000 kilometers, cleaning or replacement of valves is required, and noise resembling a diesel rumble will signal the need for this procedure. If this procedure is neglected, then expensive engine repairs are inevitable. The car is equipped with an electronic throttle. The complex design complies with Euro 5 Eco standards, but its resource, unfortunately, is not great: 60–80,000 kilometers. To prolong the life of the throttle body and injectors, they should be flushed as soon as you feel a deterioration in traction. Also, try to refuel the car with high-quality gasoline. Diesel engines with a common rail fuel system (TDCI) are very sensitive to fuel quality. And if the previous owner refueled with low-quality diesel fuel, you will have to replace the fuel injectors, injection pump, EGR valve, and catalyst. Repair will cost $2–3,000 USD. When choosing a diesel version of the Opel Astra J imported from Europe, carry out a detailed diagnosis of the power unit. The fact is that these cars are very economical, and abroad they are wound on more than 100,000 kilometers, but in our country they are sold all the time with a mileage of 50–80,000 kilometers. The Opel Astra J is equipped with a 5- and 6-speed manual gearbox gears, as well as a 6-speed automatic transmission. As operating experience has shown, mechanical transmissions have proven to be the most reliable, but things with automatic transmissions are worse. So, in particular, the owners blame for an extraneous unpleasant sound when the car stops, and jerks are felt when shifting gears. The reason for this behavior of the transmission if the service is explained by a software failure of the transmission control unit. Flashing the unit slightly improves performance, but does not completely solve the problem. At each maintenance, check the oil level in the box, as it often leaks due to the manufacturer's use of low-quality oil supply pipes to the coolant radiator. If you neglect the rules for operating an automatic transmission, the transmission will last no more than 150,000 kilometers. A replacement will cost about $2,000 USD. This model is equipped with a McPherson-type front independent suspension. At the rear, traditionally for all generations of the German brand, a torsion bar, semi-independent beam with springs and shock absorbers is installed on axis. The design feature of the Opel Astra J suspension is that at sub-zero temperatures it starts to tap when driving on rough roads. Often, the cause of a knocking in the suspension is a detached shock absorber boot. This problem is solved quite simply. You need to install the anther in place and secure it with sealant or clamps. Brake calipers can be another source of sound in a healthy suspension. The problem is eliminated by installing special gaskets between the calipers and brake pads. If the brake indicator lights up on their dashboard, the software most likely needs to be reinstalled. Traditionally, for most cars, the stabilizer struts most often become unusable, a replacement every 30,000 kilometers. Thrust bearings do not live much longer, their resource is 40–50,000 kilometers. Approximately at the same run, the stabilizer bushings will need to be replaced. The service life of original shock absorbers does not exceed 100,000 kilometers, non-original ones can last less than 50,000 kilometers. Ball bearings, wheel bearings, and shock absorber springs are well adapted to our roads, and with careful operation, they will last 100–120,000 kilometers. Silent blocks of levers on average serve 120–150,000 kilometers. The steering is quite reliable. Among the shortcomings we can distinguish wear of the rack bushing, knock when driving over bumps, play in the steering wheel, oil smudges on the rack, and a small resource of steering tips, 30–50,000 kilometers. Finishing materials of the interior are of average quality. Like the result, the appearance of crickets is a matter of time. The main sound source are a decorative overlay on the center console, a plastic overlay around the door windows, a ceiling light, and front seat adjustment mechanisms. Opel boldly integrated a lot of modern electronics into the Astra. Unfortunately, the source were not long in coming. The most significant ones are arbitrary reboot of all onboard equipment, the reason has not been established, failure of the standard alarm system, spontaneous lowering of windows, and failure of the air conditioning compressor. If you are the owner of this car model, please describe the problems that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your review that will help readers of our site when choosing a car.